Hello, visitors to the fantastic Make It Break It website. Mark Radcliffe here from the BBC. Used to be a disc jockey on Radio 1. I'm now on Radio 2. And been involved with this competition since the very beginning. And it's a great idea. It's fantastic for a number of reasons. One is that everything that comes in gets taken very seriously. I don't mean it's sort of like, it's got to be a very serious and thought-provoking song, but whatever you want to do, we sit down and listen to them all the same, give them all the same amount of time, and we do listen to everything very carefully. The other thing I really liked about this, when it was put to me, is that it's like a way of judging the song, and not necessarily a band. I used to hate all those horrible Battle of the Bands things, where they were all in sort of, dodgy pubs, and the loudest heavy metal band would always win, because you'd forgotten about all the rest. This, at least you can sit and consider the music, and listen to each song, and choose it on its own merits. New songwriters are absolutely vital to the music industry at any time. Even when recently there's been a lot of manufactured music and people have been slagging it off saying, oh, wouldn't it be great if there were more singer-songwriters? Which I think, there now are. But actually, even manufactured music, it needs writing. A lot of very good writers are involved in that. Not everybody who writes a good song is necessarily a brilliant performer. Shouldn't necessarily stop you actually, having your song considered and listened to. The other great thing about Make It Break It, I think, because when I was young and starting out, I didn't know whether what I was doing was any good. I mean, obviously I was arrogant and an egomaniac, because that's why I became a DJ. Who do you ask? You can't ask your mates, because any decent mate will just slag it off as a matter of course, because they don't want to build you up and see you disappear up your own backside. So I think, where do you go to get professional advice? And Make It Break It will take your song to people who know, a little bit about it, at least in my case, and in the case of some of the other judges, a great deal more about it. And I think Chris Martin has said that, but for the attention he got with this competition, he might not have carried on, because, it was just a great thing to have that confidence given to you by people who are in the music business saying, I think you've got something there. Maybe you could tweak that, maybe you could change that, but I think you've got something there. And there's nothing else like Make It Break It that does that. And I think that's why it's vital. That's why I want to be involved in it. And, if we're all in the music business, we're all leeches. I sit and play records on the radio, and unless people write new songs and make good new records, I won't have a programme. I'll have to talk more, and nobody wants that, obviously. Couple of tips, I think, at this stage, and you can choose to ignore them or not. I think a lot of the time you think that you hear some of the entries, the standard is very high. Strangely enough, and you might want to do something about this, the standard seems particularly high in the younger age group. So, a bit of work in the older age groups to catch up, I think. But don't worry if you haven't got access to a fantastic studio or technology, or, really, it's not about production. You'll find people along the way who'll be able to do that. And in fact, sometimes there's nothing worse than an overcomplicated, dodgy production. Because what we're really listening for is, the singer and the song. And so if you put a load of noises on there that are just messing it up and clouding the issue, not always a good thing. Don't be afraid of just putting in something that is absolutely simple, the bare bones. If it's a good enough song, then, it will be heard. So don't worry about the production. Also, and this is very close to my heart, don't worry about fashion. Don't think, oh, what's in at the moment? Oh, kind of trip hop is big at the moment, or whatever it might be. Just do your own song. Do it how you feel it. There's nothing worse than music which has obviously been designed to slavishly follow fashion. You'll get it wrong. Just do it how you feel it, and don't be afraid of it just being what you want to say, what you want to sing. Do worry about the construction of the song. We listen to a lot of songs in these things, and I heard a lot of them who say, yeah, that's a great bit. Why wasn't that a bit earlier? So don't dawdle. I mean, I don't mean to say everything's got to have a hook within 10 seconds, but don't dawdle. Think when you've finished it, listen to it, say, actually, could that introduction be half as long? Would it make the song a bit more direct? Because you do need to think about things like that. And I think, have a sound in your head. What does it sound like to you in your head? Then when you do get through and you're given professional musicians and access to, professional rehearsal rooms and gear and all that you can tell them what you want and they will make that happen for you. That's why it's much more important to have the sound in your head than on tape in the early stages, I think. I think that's about it for now, and I hope that those tips are of some use to somebody. feel free to ignore. You know, I always put the caveat in with anything I say. I may well be wrong. But look, good luck. Keep writing the songs. We all need new songs. And it is a great competition. And, you know, get involved. You'll never know unless you try it. See you soon.